Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, how can a colon add emphasis? Well, a colon can be used to draw attention to a word or phrase. If you like, to heighten the dramatic moment of something that's being spoken, or more importantly written, so you can see the colon. Here's a sentence that's in dire need of a colon. After months of thought, we finally made a sad decision, divorce. Now this sentence could be heightened even more dramatically if we were to replace the comma that's just before divorce as follows. After months of thought, we finally made a sad decision, divorce. As you can see, it has the same meaning, but it has a heightened emphasis. It seems more dramatic. But it's totally up to you if you do this. You don't have to by any stretch of the imagination. Here's another example that could be in need of a colon to add emphasis. 12 gigs, 10 cities, over 1,000 fans, full stop. This was the tour of our lives. In essence, it feels like there's a link between the first sentence and the second. And if anything, the second sentence is adding more clarification as to why the first sentence is so impactful. 12 gigs, 10 cities, over 1,000 fans, this was the tour of our lives, adds more dramatic emphasis to the moment. You could argue that the second sentence should end with an exclamation mark, but we use those sparingly, as you already know. Now it's your turn. For each of the 3 examples, consider if the use of the colon has been correct. Hit pause if you need thinking time. So, how did you get on? Once the goal was scored, the crowd roared, victory. Unfortunately, it isn't grammatically accurate to use 2 colons within one sentence. In fact, it's really quite confusing. I would recommend the example in green. Once the goal was scored, the crowd roared, victory! Exclamation mark. And as you can see, after the word roared, we've got the colon just before victory. So we only needed 1. Let's move on to the next example. The money, the fame and the attention, This was not as fun as she had hoped. This is grammatically accurate. We're listing attributes that people might find desirable or chasing if they're chasing money, fame and attention. And yet, we're contrasting that in our second sentence after the colon by saying that this is not what she'd hoped for. Finally, you have no choice, no hope and no friends, you are alone. This is grammatically accurate and sounds like the start of a dystopian novel. Ultimately, whether the colon is there to add more detail to something that's mentioned before the colon or to heighten emphasis, its primary job is to inform us. If it is used for emphasis, its primary job is to heighten a feeling, a mood, or even a moment. As with some of our examples, we're just using a singular word after the colon because it encapsulates the whole feeling of the word. It's a great way to sound sophisticated and equally show what you think is important in what you're writing. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?